Welcome to my first vegetable garden. I want to do a tour that goes along with the series that I'm doing for 2018, my first vegetable garden, Gardening 101, and I've done 4 episodes. And I just want to show you the growth update of everything that I've shown you in those videos for the series. It's winter. Still, I'm getting 28-degree nights for the next 3 days, so I don't have much going on outside, but I just wanted to show you everything that's growing indoors, give you some tips that will help you be more successful in your seed starting and getting these plants outdoors. First of all, this is one of my grow closets, and I'm using LED lights, I'm using T8 bulbs. I explain that in different videos, but the tip that's most important if you're thinking about doing this is make sure the lumens value of your lights is at least 2,000 to 3,000 or higher, and that the Kelvin value is 5,000 to 6,500 Kelvin. That will really make your grow closet a place where your plants are going to thrive, they're going to be nice and stocky, and you're not going to get skinny and leggy. Here's one flat of my cool weather crops. These are about to go outside as soon as we get rid of the 28-degree nights. I have cilantro, kale, that's sage, some more kale over here, and you can see different lettuces and some thyme that's growing. Now, the process of acclimation is getting your plants that you're growing indoors, getting them used to being outside, because these have a cushy life of just nice bright lights, warm temperature, no insects, thank goodness, no elements, no cold, no wind, and also no sun. These plants do not know what the sun is, so if I just put them right outdoors, let's move down to the peppers. If they went right outdoors and sat in full sun for just a day, the sun is going to burn off and damage all of these leaves. They have to get acclimated slowly to the outdoors, and I'll show you the setup that I'm using to help with that. But acclimation really needs to be done over a 7 to 10 day period, and I'll show you what I'm doing, and I'll put a link to a video that describes how to create the build. But these are all of my different peppers that I've seed started. I want them to be indoors for about 10 to 12 weeks, and they are ready to get potted up. And you can see them touching the light bulbs. They don't burn or get damaged because these are cooler lights. But they are ready to go. Down here is lettuce that I've been growing since January 7th, I think. It's still in the cells. I just bottom water it, use this for cut and come again lettuce. But it was more of an experiment just to show you what you can do with lettuces. You can see some are even flowering. You don't want to leave your lettuces in these cells for really past 2 to 3 weeks upon germination when you're getting them outside, or they stay small and you sort of get bonsai plants. So you really want to time it so that if you seed start your lettuces, your greens, they're going to go out into the garden within 2 to 3 weeks of germination. Here's an example. These are all the same plants you just saw that were moved into larger containers. Let me stand up so you can see that. Moved into larger containers, and you can see how much bigger they are. And I'm actually picking those and using them in salads. So these were all in different videos. Let's go over to here. I'll try not to get you motion sick by moving too quickly. These are the different bare root or woodstock roots from Home Depot and Lowe's that I showed you how to transplant into containers, and they've been moved in and out of the house to get them used to the weather out there. Peas, I like to start, and it's probably the only plant I like to start in a peat moss, because these will get put straight into the ground. They're cold. These have been going outside during the day, and I take them in at night, and you can see the roots are starting to come through here. But these will get planted right into the ground, and they were started on the 19th. And when you start peas, you really want to time it so that they get out into the ground really within 2 to 3 weeks after germination, and they're pretty close to that. This is the project I showed you for winter sowing. Just started some more peas 2 days ago for a video. I'll be doing a whole Gardening 101 on growing peas in containers in the ground, seed starting them, and direct sowing them. Now, I talked about acclimation. This is one way that you can acclimate your plants. You can get these containers. These are just plain old storage containers from like Home Depot or something like that. And you can flip them upside down. It only took me 10 years to figure that if I flip them over, the sun's going to come through here. Instead of spending a lot of time looking for a clear lid, flip it over. 10 years, but I figured it out. So you could do a couple of things. You could do winter sowing, which these are determinate variety tomatoes, so they're going to go out during the day in this contraption, be brought in at night because it's still getting too cold for them, and I'm going to just winter sow them, which means they're going to germinate, they're going to do their thing, they're going to grow in here, but you don't have to set them up with grow lights. So they're going to be acclimated to the outdoors already, and if you don't have the money, the space, or the time to grow stuff indoors, you can sort of do a winter sowing. The other thing you can do with this, and again I'll link the video that shows you the build and talks about it, this is sunscreen and soap on here. Keep this in mind. When I get over here I'll explain it in a little more detail. Coming over here, I have a lot of my herbs that I started in January, and they're doing really well. These are peppers and tomatoes and onions that are really to a nice size. And typically they would have gotten tossed because they showed up in the Gardening 101 videos early, I think in January. And it's hard to hold them, but I decided to hold them, and I'm going to build some 5-gallon greenhouses out there and see if I can get tomatoes and peppers really, really early. This is a pepper that I've topped off. Topping off a pepper helps create side shoots and more prolific production. So here's an example of 2 tomatoes, and this one has been taken outside without protection, without the acclimation process, and you can see the damaged leaves from the sun. This was wind damage that really killed them off. Right up there, wind damage. The plant itself is a lot more yellow than this green one, and what I've been doing is I have a bigger clear plastic container that comes up to here, and it just goes over these, and it's been protecting the ones that I put in there, and this was just one to show you what can happen. You can see damage right there. So if you don't acclimate your plants, you're going to be really, really disappointed because the sunshine is going to damage them. Down below, at my other grow light station, larger peppers, some lettuce over there, Walla Walla onions, American flag leeks, some parsley, and then coming up, this is a lot of the herbs that I showed you. They're doing really, really well, and these are going to get put outside and acclimated to the outdoors. In here, let's see if I can pull it out a little bit. This is my lavender, rosemary, mint. These were all started on January 7th, and you can see how slowly they grow. And in fact, if you see some of the lavender there, some of the mint, some of them are just germinating. So lavender, rosemary, mint will germinate anywhere between 7 days if you're lucky, all the way up to 28 days. Pretty much average 4 weeks, sometimes even 6 or 8 weeks. It can take a long time. Now here's the flat that's about ready to go outside. They're getting larger. These are my cool weather crops. So the way that these are going to be acclimated is I'm just going to take that whole tray and it's going to go into another one just like this one, and it's going to sit in there. I put a little bit of sunscreen over it to keep the intense sun down, and it will just acclimate over 7 to 14 days inside of this. And again, I'll show you the video, but it's a nice, easy way to get your plants used to the outdoors, especially if you're working and you just don't have a lot of time to move them in and out. It's just very, very hard to do. Here's the set of my first vegetable garden. In transition, I've been doing a lot of planting, and that's pretty much what's been going on here with the plants that I've showed you over the last 4 episodes. On my seed shop, I have a My First Vegetable Garden tab now. It's called MFVG/bulk. Check out that tab at www.therustedgarden.com because I'm selling seed packages, not single seed packs, but complete packages of tomatoes and peppers right now. And over the next week, we're going to add in a whole lot more. My brother's helping me out. And what we're selling right now is 8 different tomato varieties, 30 to 50 seeds per pack, for $8.75. I'm going to try and put together package deals that are really inexpensive so that you can try out different plants and not spend a lot of money. The pepper package is 11 packs of peppers, 25 to 35 seeds per pack, and that's only, I think, $11.75. So that's a little commercial for myself, my first vegetable garden, but I'm going to be building up that tab, MFVG/bulk. Just click on that and you'll see all the different deals that are going to go along with my YouTube channel, My First Vegetable Garden, and the series Gardening 101. Hope you enjoyed it. Gives you some idea of how the plants are doing that you've seen in the episodes, and hopefully I'll be able to get these outdoors soon and we'll be able to take the camera out there. Have a great night.